Hey nostalgia fans, welcome back. Today, we're going to carve into one of the juiciest 90s TV traditions. That would be, of course, the Thanksgiving episode. Sure, Thanksgiving is about backyard football games where someone always pulls a hamstring, pumpkin pies that taste suspiciously store-bought, and strategizing your Black Friday shopping like you're planning a Navy SEAL mission to Sears. But around here, we celebrate a different tradition. Rewatching those Turkey Day episodes that made the 90s absolutely legendary. We're talking about Rachel's beef-and-custard monstrosity, the fish versus turkey war in the Barone household, and more dysfunctional family reunions than therapy could ever unravel. In the 90s, Thanksgiving wasn't just a quiet family dinner. It was like a competitive sport but with laugh tracks. So grab yourself some apple cider or hot chocolate, or if you're Joey Tribbiani, grab both and refuse to share. And let's dig into these 10 Thanksgiving classics that defined an era, while traumatizing a few relatives and gave us some of the funniest episodes ever put on television. Number 10. Seinfeld, episode titled The Mom and Pop Store, Season 6, Episode 8. Thanksgiving on Seinfeld doesn't come with any gratitude. It comes with chaos instead. In the episode titled The Mom and Pop Store, the group manages to wreck shoes, wreck a parade balloon, and the reputation of Jon Voight, all before the turkey is even in the oven on Thanksgiving Eve. The episode starts when George proudly buys Jon Voight's LeBaron and immediately starts acting like he's driving around with an Oscar in the trunk. When Jerry dares to question its authenticity, George throws him out of the car like a disloyal fan. Meanwhile, Elaine gets invited to dentist Tim Whatley's pre-Thanksgiving party and wins the honor of holding the Woody Woodpecker balloon at the Macy's parade for Mr. Pitt. After blasting her ears with hours of big band music to claim the prize, Elaine shows up at the party basically deaf and accidentally rejects Whatley's romantic advances because she couldn't hear anything he was saying. Kramer tries to help small business by taking Jerry's sneakers to a mom-and-pop shoe repair shop. Turns out mom and pop help themselves to Jerry's shoes. They close up and flee to New Jersey selling sneakers like black market cobblers. So much for shopping local, right? Back at Whatley's party, a toothache pushes Jerry to crash the gathering just to find a dentist. While defending why he's there without an invite, Jerry accidentally knocks a pendant into the Woody Woodpecker balloon, thus puncturing it, and thus dooming Mr. Pitt to drag a wounded bird through the parade. Oh, and as for George's precious car, after Jon Voight randomly bites Kramer's arm during a street encounter, a dentist finally confirms the truth. The LeBaron belonged to Jon Voight, just not Oscar-winning Jon Voight. Number 9. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air episode titled Talking Turkey, 1990. Before Will Smith was saving the world from aliens or slapping anybody at an awards show, he was just a West Philly kid getting culture shock from Bel-Air's richest family since the Monopoly guy. And in Season 1's episode titled Talking Turkey, we learned one crucial truth. Even mansions aren't safe from holiday drama. Will's mother, Viola, comes to visit for Thanksgiving and immediately her face says exactly what everybody's thinking. Why do these children have fewer chores than a houseplant? The Banks kids don't lift a finger. After all, they have Joffrey, the world's most patient butler, doing everything short of stuffing the turkey with emotional support. And to make matters worse, the family isn't cooking Thanksgiving. They're basically having it catered. For Viola, that's basically a crime against humanity and cornbread. So she does what any strong sitcom mom would do. She publicly calls out her sister, Aunt Viv, accusing her of raising spoiled, soft, rich kid marshmallows. And honestly, she's not wrong. Shaken by this event, Aunt Viv demands the kids cook the whole dinner themselves. And this goes exactly how you'd expect when you hand Hillary a roasting pan and tell Carlton to operate machinery hotter than his dance moves. The kitchen quickly turns into a war zone, the turkey becomes a victim of that war, and Joffrey watches like he's witnessing a slow-motion disaster that he's gonna refuse to clean up. Eventually, the moms swoop in like culinary avengers. They help to finish the meal and land the emotional twist. Vi admits that she shouldn't have judged Viv's parenting. Viv apologizes for feeling attacked. Will gets some tough love, the kids finally earn their dinner, and Joffrey remains a silent hero sipping sarcasm like fine wine. Family arguments? Check. Ruined food? Check. Peak 90s fashion while chopping vegetables? Double check. Fresh Prince didn't just talk turkey, it served drama with some extra gravy. Number 8, Beverly Hills 90210, episode titled Breast Side Up, 1995.
You were coming to New York with me for the holiday.
Next time.
Got a whole family waiting to meet you, you know.
Well, you weren't in any rush to introduce us last summer.
Yeah, well, a lot's happened since last summer.
On television, California is always 75 degrees, the palm trees never shed, and drama is more common than sunscreen. And no show on television bottled that sun-kissed chaos better than Beverly Hills 90210, the soap that could turn Thanksgiving dinner into a full-scale emotional disaster. Season 6's episode titled Breast Side Up starts with a noble plan. A chill and laid-back, friends-only Thanksgiving. No parents, no conflicts, just turkey and tranquility. And naturally, this falls apart faster than a 90210 relationship timeline. A mother shows up, and suddenly the biggest debate in Beverly Hills isn't about breakups or cheating. It's whether you cook a turkey breast up or breast down. This becomes the Great Poultry War of 1995, fought with the intensity of a love triangle showdown. All the meanwhile, Donna decides a normal birthday gift isn't enough. So she surprises her boyfriend Joe with NFL legend Steve Young. Because in Beverly Hills, you don't bake a cake, you recruit a Hall of Famer. The usual soap opera spice still simmers in the background. Awkward tension, romance drama, and enough stress to season a turkey without any salt. And like any true 90210 crisis, everybody eventually ends up at the Peach Pit eating comfort food under neon lights and asking the universe why everything is so dang complicated. At that point, nobody cares if the turkey was breast up or breast down. In Beverly Hills, the secret recipe is simple. One turkey, an NFL surprise, and a feast full of feelings. Number 7, Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, episode titled Giving Thanks, 1994.
Where are my chickens?
Should be in the coop.
But there's 2 missing. Ma? Ma? What happened to the pumpkins we planted back here?
Suppose they just never came up.
Welcome to Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, where Thanksgiving comes with dysentery. Jane Seymour played Dr. Michaela, Dr. Mike Quinn, a Boston-born physician proving that she's just as capable as any male doctor in 1860s Colorado, and occasionally more capable than the entire town combined. And in the episode titled Giving Thanks, Season 2, Episode 8, the holiday cheer starts with a drought. Nothing kicks off Thanksgiving like genuine panic over water. Instead of asking the Cheyenne for help, a couple of townsfolk do what terrible neighbors do best. They steal what they think is secret water. And the joke's on them, it wasn't drinking water, it was contaminated water. Their robbery doesn't just spark guilt, it sparks dysentery because on the frontier, karma hits harder than Sully's abs. What entails is part medical drama and part morality tale. The town is forced to face its own prejudice. Admit the Cheyenne know more about survival than they do and rely on Dr. Mike. Because in this show, eventually everyone needs Dr. Mike. And just when the lessons finally sink in, nature finally does what everyone's been praying for. It rains, turning Thanksgiving into a street dancing celebration that looks like a frontier flash mob. Oh, and if survival and water theft and intestinal misery weren't enough, this episode also drops a major relationship bomb. Michaela and Sully officially start courting one another. Because nothing says romance like learning how to properly hydrate during a crisis, right? Number 6 on our list, Boy Meets World, with the episode titled Turkey Day, 1996.
They come from different worlds. Think of them as the Hutus and Tutsis, living with prejudice and hatred passed on from parent to child because it is what they've grown accustomed to.
You know, are we the only two people on this whole planet who don't know who the Hutus and Tutsis are?
You know, Corey, for once, I think our ignorance may be working for us.
What, you mean if we knew better, we wouldn't be friends?
Yeah. So I'm glad we don't know better.
Yeah, me too.
In Boy Meets World's episode titled Turkey Day, Corey and Sean win a turkey and stuffing for donating the most food at school. In true 90s sitcom optimism, they decide that the only fair way to share their prize is to host Thanksgiving with both of their families. One bird, two households, zero compatibility. The Matthews family are comfortable suburban folks. The Hunters live in a chaotic trailer park. Neither side is particularly excited to mingle with one another, and the awkwardness starts immediately. Alan mistakes a trailer labeled the Unters for the Hunters, assuming that the H fell off, and the actual Mr. Unter is not amused by this. Within minutes, trailer park politics are mobilized. Inside the Hunter home, things unravel just as fast. Alan and Chet start feuding over whose wine deserves to be served like rival sommeliers trapped in a discount cooking show. Corey and Sean watch their dream Thanksgiving collapse faster than Eric facing long division. Eventually, the trailer park holds a meeting and politely asks the Matthews family to leave before dinner even begins. The kids escape to eat with Frankie instead. When the parents finally find them, they overhear Corey giving thanks. Not for food, but for being raised to like people for who they are, regardless of where they come from. That hits both families harder than overcooked stuffing, and they all sit down to eat together at last. The episode ends in class, where Mr. Feeney gives Sean an A+ for writing that discrimination shouldn't even exist in a developed country. And that change starts with how we teach the kids. Boy Meets World didn't just serve Thanksgiving dinner, but it served a lesson. It's not about the house, it's not about the wine, and it's not about the trailer. It's about who is at the table with you. Number 5, Sabrina the Teenage Witch with the episode titled Love Means Having to Say You're Sorry from 1999.
Good morning, Sabrina.
Morning.
What'll it be? Egg white omelet or oatmeal?
Ah!
Okay, have a Pop-Tart.
No, it's your faces. You all have Harvey's face. Even the cat.
I am Harvey, and I need $20.
When Sabrina Spellman found out she came from a long line of witches, she didn't receive a Hogwarts letter. She instead got 2 chaotic aunts, a talking cat with emotional baggage, and a boyfriend who somehow dated a sorceress without asking too many questions. For 7 magical seasons, Sabrina tried to survive high school, hide her magic, and keep Harvey from finding out she could literally turn him into a lawn gnome. However, in this Thanksgiving episode, Sabrina's biggest problem didn't have anything to do with magic, it had to do with the very human emotion of heartbreak. She and Harvey are broken up, and not because of some sort of spell gone wrong or some sort of curse from Cousin Larry. No, it's because Sabrina kissed another boy. No wands involved, just classic teen drama that even Salem the cat can't sass her out of. To cheer Sabrina up, Aunt Hilda and Aunt Zelda decide to cook a magical Thanksgiving dinner. Because in Sabrina's house, nothing says wholesome comfort meal like summoning literal pilgrims from the afterlife to help with the cooking. Unfortunately, these pilgrims discover that the Spellman family are witches, and they react the way 1600s humans usually reacted around women with powers. Burn them at the stake! Happy holidays, y'all! When the witch burning fails, thank goodness for sitcom logic, the pilgrims cut them a deal. They'll finish dinner up if they can go back home afterwards. Meanwhile, Sabrina is desperately trying to repair things with Harvey using every magical shortcut that she can think of. Potions, spells, emotional manipulation via witchcraft, she tries everything. And of course, none of it works. In the end, the solution is just like the episode title suggests, and it's beautifully non-magical. Sabrina and Harvey finally apologize to each other like normal human beings. No hexes, no enchantments, just good old communication. Perhaps the scariest human spell of them all. Number 4, Everybody Loves Raymond, episode titled Turkey or Fish from 1996.
Look at this. I was working out. I was doing some power crunches, and I found this lump here. What the hell is this? This is something. This is something here. This is not... Oh, I got another one. Oh, it's a set. That's okay. I'm all right. All right, don't worry about it.
Freak.
On the show Everybody Loves Raymond, apologies were about as rare as Ray doing the dishes. From 1996 to 2005, we watched him juggle life between his wife Deborah and the two unstoppable forces of nature living next door, Marie and Frank Barone. And whenever Deborah and Marie collide, Thanksgiving stops being a holiday and becomes more like a contact sport. In Season 1's episode titled Turkey or Fish, Deborah tries to switch things up with a modern twist, serving fish instead of turkey for Thanksgiving. Marie reacts like someone just announced that Thanksgiving was totally canceled. She then invites extra guests to raise the stakes, then shows up with her own turkey like she's smuggling contraband poultry across enemy lines. Deborah stresses out, Ray stands there like a referee who refuses to blow the whistle, and Marie waits for her daughter-in-law to fail so she can say those 4 words that she lives for. I told you so. But then comes the shocker. Marie apologizes. She admits that she sabotaged the dinner not because of the fish, but because she hates losing control. Deborah therein forgives her, everybody eats happily, and for one rare moment, peace settles over the Barones. Now, will this peace last? No, it won't. This is Everybody Loves Raymond that we're talking about. But for one blissful Thanksgiving night, fish and turkey made peace together. And Marie admits that she was wrong. Goes to show you miracles can happen. Just don't expect a second miracle before Christmas. Number 3, Kenan and Kel, episode also titled Turkey Day from 1997.
Oh, it's hot! Oh, well then take your hand out. I can't. It's stuck. Man, this cannot be happening to me. Hurry up, it's hot. It's hot. Get it off
Before Kenan Thompson was anchoring SNL sketches and Kel Mitchell was making us crave orange soda, they were 2 Chicago teens causing mayhem on the show Kenan and Kel. A sitcom spun off from All That, where friendship meant never questioning terrible ideas. In the episode titled Turkey Day, Kenan's father, Roger, spends 7 miserable hours cooking a Thanksgiving turkey so perfect it may as well have been edible art. And then, of course, disaster strikes. Roger leaves the kitchen, and Kel is left alone with the bird. You should probably already know where this is going. Kel, being powered by impulse and hunger stronger than any logic, eats the entire turkey. No, not like the whole wing, and not like a big slice. The entire turkey. Kel consumes it like a man possessed by cranberry demons. When Kenan returns, the boys do what any teenagers would do after committing domestic food crimes. They try to replace the evidence. What else would you do? Their quest to find a new turkey turns into a holiday odyssey across Chicago. When they finally do secure a replacement, the boys then realize that they still have to cook it. Kenan's solution? Well, just microwave the turkey. Surprisingly, Kel protests, reminding him that microwaves take 2 hours. So Kenan decides to up the chaos, shove the entire microwave into the oven. Because nothing says Happy Thanksgiving like turning your kitchen into a small explosion. And yeah, it literally blows up spectacularly. The turkey, the microwave, the kitchen, they're just gone. Roger returns to scorched appliances, a ruined holiday dinner, and his son standing next to the world's most destructive sidekick. Number 2 on our list is Frasier with an episode titled A Lilith Thanksgiving from 1996. When Frasier Crane left Cheers for Seattle's highbrow skyline, he thought he would also be escaping his frosty ex-wife, Lilith Sternin. Nice try, Frasier. Co-parenting means she'll always come back, usually armed with a plan and zero tolerance for any joy. In the episode titled A Lilith Thanksgiving, the plan is to get their son Frederick into an elite private school. And nothing says gratitude like begging a headmaster on a holiday. So, Frasier and Lilith spend Thanksgiving together buttering up admissions like a couple of academic sales reps. While back at the house, the real disaster unfolds. Niles volunteers to cook dinner, a terrible decision in any universe, and Martin attempts to entertain Frederick like he's running a chaotic daycare for one. By the time the parents return, the kitchen is destroyed. Frederick is basically feral, and Niles has suffered more emotional damage than the turkey has. Any episode that features Bebe Neuwirth's razor-sharp character Lilith is a guaranteed classic. Her love-hate dynamic with Frasier, and yeah, the hate does most of the heavy lifting, turns Thanksgiving into a duel of intellect and icy death stares. Add Niles versus a kitchen and Martin versus childcare, and this holiday becomes pure sitcom excellence. On Frasier, Thanksgiving wasn't about giving thanks. It was more about surviving the people that you share genes with. Number 1 on our list is Friends, with an episode titled The One Where Ross Got High from 1990. The show Friends debuted in 1994. Nobody knew that 6 New Yorkers would become the most iconic roommates on television, or that they'd give us some of the greatest Thanksgiving episodes that TV could ever cook up. And topping the list is Season 6's chaotic masterpiece, an episode titled The One Where Ross Got High. Monica is hosting Thanksgiving, her parents are coming, and Chandler needs them to like him. There's just one issue here. Monica's parents already hate Chandler. Why, you may ask? Well, that's probably because years back, Ross blamed his pot smoking on Chandler, and he never took it back. So Chandler's been carrying Ross's weed reputation like emotional leftovers. Meanwhile, Rachel tries to contribute a fancy dessert. She attempts a trifle, but the recipe pages stick together, and she accidentally creates a sweet, savory abomination made of ladyfingers, custard, and beef with peas and onions. Joey and Ross pretend to love the dish, proving that friendship sometimes means swallowing lies. Literally. As the dinner kicks off, every buried secret detonates all at once. Surprise marriages, broken heirlooms, terrible grades, and finally the truth about who actually got high. And in all this wreckage, Chandler wins over the Gellers, and Rachel's trifle becomes immortal for all the wrong reasons. Critics often praise this as one of the best Friends episodes ever. It's got family drama, relationship victory, and a dessert that tastes like feet. Try it yourself if you dare, but maybe don't invite the Gellers. And there you have it, nostalgia fans. 10 Thanksgiving episodes that reminded us the holiday isn't just about turkey or stuffing or avoiding your relatives' cooking experiments. When we look back at many of these episodes, we're reminded that Thanksgiving can be literally messy, and that's part of what makes it so unforgettable. However, in the end of every one of these stories, we end up laughing, learning, and finding something or someone to be oh so thankful for. And that itself is the real magic of Thanksgiving. At least the 90s version we grew up with. And this year, we're especially thankful for you. Voice guy off script here again. I can't believe the success of this channel and how engaged everyone is in the comments and with the content itself. That means every single one of you who's been reliving this golden era of TV with us, one nostalgic deep dive at a time. From the bottom of my heart, thanks for hanging out and sharing memories with us, which helps keep these classics alive. It's kind of like having our own TV family reunion every week. And thankfully over the internet, nobody can be there to ruin the turkey. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, please hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And why don't you share with us which Thanksgiving episode from these sitcoms you'll be watching again this year. Until next time, everybody. May your pies be perfect, may your stuffing stay unburned, and your trifle remain 100% beef-free. From all of us here at Dial Up Days, we hope you have a very safe and happy Thanksgiving. I'll see y'all next time. Thanks again, everybody.